Hey y'all, we back, honey. We back for another episode of Love is Blind, number 11. Okay, let's go and get into it. So, Megan and Jordan ended up getting a reading. The lady told them that they're soulmates. We're gonna have to wait and see if that's true. Now, when it comes to Madison is over there on the floor and she crying in the closet. Because remember, when we saw Joe last episode, Joe was over there getting his tux fitting, right? And he got upset with one of his friends, told him to shut the F up. When the boy just asked him a question, he went to go sit down in his confessional, decided to get up from the confessional in the middle of it and say, let's finish this tomorrow. I got to get the hell up out of here. Okay. So he started to have some type of panic attack, right? Then what did we learn? Something we already knew, that Joe ass got the hell out of Dodge, just like he did on the last woman, right? So Madison is crying in the closet, letting I think one of her family members know that Joe is gone. All right. Next thing you know, we do see Joe as she's sitting in the closet crying. Joe does come back into the house. Now, Joe told her that he had a breakdown after the tux fitting and he felt detached and says that she's not his person. And if they go to the altar, he's going to tell her no. Now they talk, and she says that she felt confused and didn't understand why he let her go all the way to the dress fitting. And I think that's a fair question to ask. Like, why would you do that? If you knew this was something that you did not want to do, why would you let me go that damn far with it? I think Joe may have been trying to like really convince himself, possibly, to do this, but I don't even know. I don't know what the hell Joe was doing. I think it still stands because for me, I don't think Joe was ever really attracted to her. So yeah, that's a valid question. Why the fuck would you take it this far, bro? Like, is you cool? But honestly, I would have rather him do it at least after the damn dress fitting than getting your whole family there, y'all showing up, and he tells you no in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's better you save everybody a trip. So who knows? Anywho, so he says that it wasn't until he went to the tux fitting that he had his breaking point and it really hit him. Cut it out. Cut it out. So he says he thinks you could that he says, I think that you can still have love for somebody and know that they're not your person. Joe, you don't have love for her. Stop playing. All right. He couldn't even explain any of the reasons as to why she's not the one. But I feel like the reason is really self explanatory. She wants the clarity, and he's not necessarily giving it to her because I feel like he doesn't really want to hurt her feelings. Right. So he is basically, in my personal, not attracted to you. That is the real reason. Right. She thinks that he may want to go and be with one of the singles because she feels like he started acting funny after the singles came around. So I think that's what you want to go and do. Right. And I feel like that's not the case. All right. I just feel like he's not attracted to you. Right. I feel like that man started to detach himself from you the moment he saw you. That's when the detachment started to happen. Not at the damn tuxedo spot. It's been like that. He was never all in. Right. So Madison asked if they weren't in this experiment, would they have made it on the outside? Would they have lasted longer? And he said, no, you better be glad for this experiment. Because if it wasn't for this experiment, I wouldn't even look your damn way. Because I don't know how many times he needs to tell Madison that you're not his type. You are not physically his type. I don't know why that's so hard for her to just like digest. So she says, you still can't tell me why. And I'm like, girl, it's clear. But I don't know. Do you just want him to say it? Because sometimes people want you to say stuff, right? And go ahead and hurt their feelings. Sometimes people want their feelings hurt because that feeling makes them, move to the next step, which is not fuck with you no more. So some people want to hear the harsh truth, right? Maybe that's what she's trying to get him to say. So she's over there crying. Baby, when I tell y'all Joe is not moved, Joe is not moved. He don't give a damn. Joe is like, girl, hurry up. All right. So she says that he doesn't even care right now. I say, because he doesn't. You're right. She tells him, the least you can do is hug me if you care. The least you can do is hug me. Like, my God, he's like, I can hug you. I can hug you. Like, I can hug you now. She's like, no, fuck it. Fuck it, child. Woo. Her in this tug of war, like push or pull, like I want you to run after me, don't come after me, come after me, don't come after me. Anywho, girl. So honestly, when she was talking about F it, when it came to that hug, Joe was sitting up there covering his face because really he wanted to laugh in her face because Joe is an F boy. He knew exactly what he was doing, right? Because Joe really could have pulled a stunt like Casey did. And I that would have been better. Because if Casey would have stayed on this show with old boy Patrick, she would have definitely got drugged for the whole season. So honestly, Joe, you came out better just skipping out earlier on versus playing in her face this whole time. But you wanted to hang out with your boys, get a free trip to Cabo, get you some free cheeks and all of that. Yeah. And then go back to the whoever you got back at home. So anywho, Joe says that he would have been miserable if he would have moved forward with this particular situation. He says he wants to move forward with somebody that he's happy to be with and somebody that he actually wants. And she just wasn't it. That's what Joe said. And you know what? It sounds harsh. It sounds mean, but it's honest. Whether we like it or not, it's honest. Now, he may not have been honest this entire time, but the words he said at the end, he was being honest there. So she still gives him kind words, right? Before he leaves out, she give him a hug, tells him thank you. She feels like, her feelings are still strong for him. And, he'll always have a place in her heart and all. I said, girl, please. I said, listen, when you're over this situation, you ain't gonna give a fuck about Joe. And you probably gonna be like, fuck that man. Okay? But I get it, you're emotional, and I hate that he broke your heart and you had to be the one to go to him and give his ass a hug. What the fuck? Let's keep going. So Edmond and KB, I'm tired of both of them. KB, baby, at this point, you want to argue. I am not finna argue with you. That's what you give. Right? I don't feel like it's just Edmond anymore. I really think that this is who KB is. I feel like she often finds something to complain about, and I feel like self-sabotage looks different on different people, and that may be a little piece of what she does too. Right? I'm willing to believe that that's how she shows up even outside of it. Let's put Edmond to the side. Obviously, none of the other relationships worked. And I would not be surprised if how she shows up contributed to that just a little piece, right? So Edmond appears to make it easy for her to pick him apart, I will say. I do think that. I think this is how she shows up, but he does make it easy for her to be like, boom, 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 and you did this and you did that. But anywho, I honestly believe that she shows up this way in all her relationships and situationships, okay? She's bringing up this damn Western shit again. Now, granted, it could be production editing things out of order to make it something bigger than what it is. But it's like, girl, I thought, well, maybe they didn't get no resolve. Maybe they didn't. But she brought this Western thing up again. I thought he had apologized. Maybe he didn't. Right? She complaining about him pretty much being fake on camera and stuff. She says to him that she can't force him to want to grow up. And I said, but that's what you picked though. That's what you wanted, right? You wanted to help him grow up, right? You wanted to help him with that. That's what you said. You wanted him to be a little project, right? Ain't that's what you said when you was over there in the damn pods? You were so anxious and ready to find somebody to mold into what you want. That's what it seemed like. Oh, my little baby, yeah. My little baby. Oh, look at me. Oh my God, I'm falling in love with you. Not you got me falling in love. Like whatever it was, you was just like eating up any and everything. Like it was giving desperate. And here we are. Right? Okay, so anywho, that's what she wanted. Edmond says that I ain't doing that to you. Okay. And then he says he's sorry that she's taken anything that he's done wrong, but I've pretty much been in a good mood, And I felt like for me, this is why Edmond tells her to be nice. I was thinking maybe Edmond is telling her to be nice because of how life was for him when he grew up. He always got chastised, always got told he was doing something wrong, and he just wants to hear something nice. And that may be his idea of what genuine love is. Somebody that's gonna always love, support you, and tell you the great things that you're doing, maybe. But I also feel like no, he tells her to say something nice because every time he look up, her ass complaining about something, right? And I'm not saying he doesn't give her reasons to complain. I do. However, I think KB likes to drag out arguments, right? But anywho, that's what I think. So I do feel like she gave him compliments in the beginning. Yes. I think in the beginning, yeah, there were a few compliments here or there, but I definitely believe that the complaints outweigh any compliments or something like that, but also it kind of still gives mother and child, right? When your child does something and you say, good job, oh, you did so great at that, right? It's like you have to tell them that for them to continue to do things that way, right? It's like they got to get little treats, and that's what he wants, to know that he's doing things right in the relationship, to keep doing that. But you also got to know the stuff that you're doing wrong too. So I don't fault her for calling him out, but it's just like we still talking about, like, it's just like a drag on. And then you wanted a project, you get a project, the project not working how you want the project to work. Now you want to be mad. This what you wanted. I'm sorry, I can't feel bad for her. So anywho, So she says that he does this thing where he acts like he wasn't even there when the issue came up or comes up or whatever the situation is. He act like he's not there. I guess she said it was like something where they were in the car and I think he told her to stop talking to him or something, or he started ignoring her or whatever. But then as soon as they get out and the cameras are rolling, he's like, come on, babe, let's do this, let's do that. And she doesn't like all of that, right? And he probably didn't want to talk to you because damn, I'm trying to have a good day, like, and we arguing again. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like that's draining. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna put all this on Edmond. I'm sorry. I'm sure he's a problem, but I feel like she is too. So now KB want to be mad with Edmond, okay? Because he done cut her off. So they having a conversation going back and forth, and then she won't let him get a fucking word in, honestly. And then when he cuts her ass off, she wants to get mad. I said, see, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Is there any making her happy? Just a little piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all both are equally getting on my nerves. I do not care. Both of them are. Right? Then she called him a bitch. I'm just like, girl, come on. Come on now. Now, if that man would have called you one, it really would have been up. Lord have mercy. So Allie and Anton. So her mom wants them to respect each other and not be out all night and clubbing and stuff like that. If you got a partner at the house, y'all need to do stuff together. I said, ma'am, they not gonna listen to shit you talking about, especially not your daughter. While you sitting up there talking about something, yeah, if y'all can come back home and clean the kitchen and clean this and do that or whatever. And I'm like, girl, this the same daughter who said that when she was in school, you was doing every damn thing for her. So did she lie? Did she lie? Maybe she did. Okay, I don't know, but your daughter ain't hearing that, and neither is he. So Edmond comes back to the apartment with flowers and an apology for KB. The reason I like this moment was not only him bringing the flowers and stuff, and him actually having real words to say and apologize and actually be able to get his words out. It was the fact that she shut the fuck up the entire time, so that he could at least talk. And because it already seems like, I don't know if he has a speech impediment. I don't know if he used to have a stuttering issue once upon a time, but he already is struggling to get out what it is he's trying to say, or make it make sense or whatever the case is. So it's like, just like, give him some time, like, let him get that out. And I'm glad he got all of it out. So she says that she wanted to throw her ring, y'all. Earlier that day, or whenever they got into it, she wanted to throw her damn ring, and says that she was battling with whether to move forward. Okay. So he tells her that she's the only person that he wants to do this with. I'm like, duh, duh. She's the only option you have, right? And he's talking about how she made him a better person and everything. And she says that she now has hope based on the way that he came in there. Coming in with the flowers, bringing an apology. She felt like that's a man. That's what a man does. Like, that's what I'm looking for. Like, that's it right there. Right? But KB, again, love, it's just these things that you bring on yourself as well. Because you say that you're tired of being the strong person and an independent woman and this and that, but as soon as you get into the pods to entertain men and you ask certain questions, you are automatically drawn to the one that you have to be independent for versus the other way around. And honestly, in my personal, I think because of who you have grown to be at this point, I think you would even struggle with somebody that was independent and did certain things, because you're so used to navigating and showing up in a certain way that you will probably pick them apart on something. Okay. So I don't know. Y'all both just don't need to get married and really just take some time out and just continue to date around. I think you ain't gotta be real. You ain't gotta get married. Date a lot of people, learn stuff about yourself, learn what you like, what you don't like, what you need, what you don't need, how you should not show up, whatever the case is, like, date around. So that's what she says. She says that she's been working on her patience because before him, she didn't have patience. And I said, girl, it's actually showing now, which is real interesting. And we'll get to that, right? Number one, when you talk about how, you didn't used to have patience, I'm like, well, that confirms to me that you are the problem and I ain't been tripping, because it's showing now, right? She says that she hasn't been that way in years, cursing and yelling. And I'm like, you sure? Okay, because what you said a few episodes ago was that you wasn't sure whether to get him the new engaged KB or to get KB from 30 days ago. So that lets me know that your patience that you said that I used to lack patience and I haven't yelled and cursed. And maybe you haven't yelled and cursed at some folks. But this whole patience thing, right, was 30 days ago. Even with the yelling and cursing. Because I think you kind of got loud with him before. That was just 30 days ago. That's what you said. The KB from 30 days ago. So yeah, girl, that's just how you is. Like, I don't know. So she says that he's helped her grow more than anyone she's ever dated. I bet. Because he's not like anybody you've ever dated, I'm sure. And grow in what ways? What, patient? I feel like maybe trying to listen more potentially. I would like to know what ways did she feel that he helped her grow in comparison to her past relationships, right? Now, Allie and Anton, she's over there reflecting on her past and, making mistakes and stuff and ignoring her core, right? Of what she knows she shouldn't do, basically. In past relationships, she's had situations that she know that were not gonna work out, right? In her gut, she knew something was not right, but she continue to go against that, right? And then look at the results of what she got. When I hear Allie say this to Anton, she is really taking this process in my opinion. I really think she's gonna tell him no at the altar. They may say no to each other, which I'm hoping they do. But that's what I think is going on. Allie is starting to be more in tune with, like, dang, I'm feeling so heavily that I shouldn't move forward with this because he's showing me a lot of things that I don't necessarily like. Am I willing to compromise that for this guy? I don't think that I am. Right? So I'm hoping she says no at the altar. Megan and Jordan. So Megan brings up how Jordan doesn't stimulate her mentally because he's too quiet all the time. And this is what she meant by feeding off of his energy. When I had a talk earlier that day, she's saying that she often feeds off his energy and just go with the mood, go with his wave or whatever. Jordan tells Megan that that she does things in an abrasive fashion. And he wants her to be more compassionate to his situation. I felt like when he was saying compassionate to my situation, I feel like he was talking more so about his finances. You be wanting to shake and move because you think I got money like you got, and I don't. And I want you to be more understanding to what it is that I got going on. I ain't got money like you. And on top of me not having money like you, I got a child, with a medical condition that I got to take care of. So I don't have time to be operating like you. Okay. So just be patient with me if you want to be with me. That's what it's given. So she wants to have more talks, even if it's about work, like just communicate with me more, like talk to me. Let's do that. So he feels like Megan doesn't listen to him. I'm like, now we finally out of this whole season, I feel personally, we're finally starting to see some cracks in their relationship and what some of the issues are. So Jordan says that he be tired when he get off work and he ain't really trying to talk about work. If work is over there, I don't want to bring this shit over here. They stress me out enough over there. I'm not trying to bring it over here. Right. And then he says that, he's tired with work. He got a child, diabetic son. He has so many other things to be worried about than, I don't want to say than her, but he just got a lot on his mind. Right. So he's looking for her to compromise with him in this time. And at this point, I feel like this is where we were seeing a difference, right? Now we're seeing a difference of her being a business owner and allowing her to have, her having more freedom and stuff than him. He ain't got this type of freedom like that. So now we're seeing the issues. I think that she should rethink this connection with him. Because for the simple fact that he's not on her level, and I don't want to say he's not on her level, but they're not in the same place in more ways than one. However, I can see her continuing to thug it out with Jordan. And I think that she will try to put him in a position to where he is doing possibly what he loves, right? Not spending so many hours at work, and they are able to do some of the things that they want to do. But when that man was saying something about traveling, he said something to her about traveling. I don't know if he said traveling costs money. I don't think he said that because of course she got the money to travel, but I think it may have been connected to the son, right? If his son has a medical situation that happens and he got to be rushed to the hospital, I think he thinks about that. Like he just wants to be available for his kid to get to the hospital and not be all the way overseas somewhere hanging out, spending time with your ass, right? That's going to be a big issue to me in their relationship. And it's really going to require, in my personal, for Megan to bring herself down to his level in order to exist with him. I don't know. It's not, I just think they are in two different places. On top of the fact that she don't even live in the state, she'll be relocating back to the state. Like, I don't, yeah, good luck. Right. She did tell him that she wants him to court her more though, and she really doesn't know what his interests are because he hasn't showed her. Ain't that something? So you say you like these nice restaurants, but I can't tell because he ain't like you taking me nowhere. That's crazy. He tells her that all those other men with businesses that had money didn't even work out. And it was something weird about that dynamic where, I don't know, it was something about that. The term gaslighting is coming to me, but I don't think that's what that was. But it was just something about it where it was like, but you chose like some like you should stick with it. It was given you should be with me because obviously those other guys that got money and this, that, and the other didn't work out. I may not have taken you here or taken you there, but hell, they are not with you at all. Like it was kind of given that type of thing. Like I don't know, it was something about it. I didn't like it, but that's what it was. Now this was the end of the show, right? The show goes off. They give us previews for the next episodes, and I just feel like I don't want a single fucking person to get married. I want this to be the first season of all seasons where not a single fucking couple went through with this bullshit. That's what I want. Not a single person going through with this whole shit. And I said, now watch how KB and Edmond probably be the only ones to say yes to each other. That will be the complete fucking shocker to know that we've seen so much of their dynamic this entire season where there's friction, there's weirdness. She shouldn't do this. He's awkward. He's this, he's that. And then they go to the altar and they both say, yeah. Meanwhile, everybody else that may have gotten somewhat of a better edit, like Allie and Anton, definitely Jordan and Megan. And if they go to the altar and say no, child, insane. But listen, that's all I got. I don't know what's going to happen. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below, honey. I'm Jamie, that's me. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, telling my priest to the choir, stand with my feet to the fire, give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like ages. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim, putting shots up. I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can fill a pool, we gon' make them swim.